What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we live in the building, man. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing, man? I told you guys I was gonna come back on here and give you guys a little bit more content before we hang it up for the evening, man. I like giving you guys at least 2 shows a day. That's my commitment. So I gave y'all my first show today, man, and we rocked it out real tough, man. So I thought I'd get the three amigos of Cowboy Sports on here and talk about some Cowboy content before we get up out of here and call it a day, man, because tomorrow is hump day. So we gonna be I mean, we already in the Green Bay, but you guys already know tomorrow is hump day, then Thursday night football, and then Friday, Cowboys get on that plane, Saturday, and then Sunday, we gonna be yelling, run the damn ball at our TVs around America. Unless you're one of the crazy folks that's going out to this cold game, man. I appreciate y'all if you are, because Cowboys gonna need you. You feel me? But yo, it's your boy West Coast. I appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. I got about an hour of Cowboy content for you, so make sure you guys continue to tune in the entire time, man. But yo, I got a couple special people from the nation in that's gonna be bringing you guys, helping me bring this content tonight. I got my boy the Bishop, man, over from the Big Time Show. What's up with you, OG?
What's going on, man? What's going on? We in the house.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I also got my cousin in the building. What's up with you, Henny?
Man, cooling, bro. Can't call it. Making it.
Shoot, I heard that, man. Let's get into it, man. We ain't even gonna spend too much time on it. You guys already know the jazz. Make sure if you have not already, make sure you guys hit that share button, and then make sure you guys hit that star button. Hey, Bishop, let me get a sound check real quick. Can you hear me?
We in the house. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. All right, we can hear you.
I'm
You
in.
couldn't hear you. It sounded like your voice was going out for a minute or something. But
I'm
yeah,
good.
let's go. Let's get right into it, man. So if you guys already know everybody that's special, that means you shared the content and you hit the stars. I appreciate you. As soon as it loads up, I'm gonna give you guys a special shout out with some glory hole and some other stuff. So make sure y'all continue to stay with us. You feel me? But yo, let's just jump into it, man. I think the number one thing that every single Cowboy fan is talking about right now is the number one thing that Jerry Jones wants us to be talking about right now, and that is Mr. Odell Beckham Jr., man. A lot of Cowboy fans are voicing their opinions and voicing their thoughts, and we want to talk about that for a little bit. And then we only going to talk about Odell Beckham, honestly, maybe about 10, 15 minutes. Then for the last 40 minutes, we're going to talk about the game that we're actually about to play, because I don't want to get ourselves caught up in talking about guys that aren't going to help us win games that's this week. I think that's definitely not the way we want to be doing business over here. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to give them about 15, we're going to give them about 10, 15 minutes, and then we're going to push on to something else. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? We're going to talk about something that's a little
Yes,
bit more
sir.
important. All right, so let's get it. Let's get it. So I'm gonna start with you. Start with you, Bishop. First off and foremost, man, what are your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys bringing in Odell Beckham? What are your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys acquiring a free agent wide receiver or just anybody, man? What are your thoughts, real quick?
My position is that the playbook now for the last few years has been that all these free agents, number one, are always rumored to Dallas. We can go down the list, starting with Earl Watson. I mean, going all the way down. It seems that the Cowboys is always the team that everybody's linked to. Me personally, you may not agree with it. Some of the fan base that's in the chat may not agree with it. I believe that they use the Cowboy name and brand to drive the price up somewhere else, and it always seems to happen. All these big name guys we never get. I think Odell Beckham is not ironic that all the talk is about Dallas, Dallas, Dallas. When at the same time Von Miller is saying Odell gonna come with us at Buffalo. So I mean, and I just don't see it. It don't follow the playbook of Stephen Jones to make this type of move, especially with a guy who's coming off of ACL again on the same knee. I mean, yeah, I guess if marketing wise, yeah, it works, but we don't need them to be honest with you. We are 6-2. We're not 2-6. Let's get that straight. We are 6-2, so we're doing all right without them. That's just my take on it. I don't believe it.
What's Henny? Give me your thoughts on it.
Well, like I said, like Odell is a good player. He would be an upgrade in the receiver room, but like we were talking about last night, man. Like We're averaging 33 points the last two games with Dak Prescott. Our two best offensive games of the season just came these last 2 weeks. So you really can't just look at what we did on tape and in the offense and say that we have something really missing from the offense. Now he would be an upgrade over Noah Brown, as a number three if he's the same player that we saw last year before the injury. But he is more of a luxury than a need. What we need is more support in the run game. But I wouldn't mind having him. But like I said, he's not a guy I would want us to crash out to try and go get.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on Odell Beckham is this. Like, well, my thoughts on all great players, any good player. You know what I'm saying? I want all the good players. Like, I want that to be the first thing that everybody knows about West Coast Cowboy. I want all the good players. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? If they can make it work, make it work. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just hearing what I hear Odell Beckham is wanting and the type of contract, not necessarily the money, but the length of the contract and what he wants to do. And it makes 100% sense because, at someone at his level of career, he should be looking for somewhere where he can kind of call home, somewhere where he can hang up his cleats at some point, somewhere where he can get appreciated and things like that. That's a mature football. That's a mature professional athlete thinking like that. So I 100% don't blame Odell Beckham for thinking like that, and I think that's how he should be thinking. But I also think from the Dallas Cowboys standpoint, we have not valued age. Like, we don't value age. We don't value we value experience, but we don't value age. And apples are kind of, one thing about apples is apples give you orange juice. I mean, apple juice. You can't have apple juice without having apples. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like they kind of like go hand in hand. They're one and the two. One begets the other one. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I love what you said about, this is more of a want thing as far as a necessarily a need. And I think the Cowboys, in a business standpoint, I think that you should always be in the business of trying to address your needs first. Like, if you have a need, if we did not listen to me, fellas, if we were under 100 yards given up in the run game, say we was like 80 yards given up in the run game, I would have no problem with this. I would have no problem with this. If we was 75 yards, you only giving up 75 yards of rushing with the defense we're playing with our offense, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's go out and let's go do some crazy stuff to help this offense. But when you're up in the 130s, the 120s, and you just gave up 240, like, it's almost a little disappointing to the nation because I be like thinking like, bro, why don't y'all care about stopping the run? Like I know we all want to win Super Bowls, and the opportunity is always to get, to score more points, but it's like you also got to take pride in not scoring points. You know what I'm saying? And not allowing teams to score on you. And it's like right now, I feel like the number one thing, if because you got to think like this, you're not really talking about what can help the offense. You should really be talking about what can we do to help the entire team as a whole. You should only be making moves that are going to help the entire team as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this, a move that's going to make this entire team as a whole is continuing to address the need to stop the run. That's just what it is. Like, the Cowboys should be 100% into stopping the run until that's able to. Like Odell Beckham, like the cool thing about Odell Beckham is if there's a bunch of teams that want him, then I guess what that means? That means you have time. That means you have time. You know what I'm saying? And what I also could see the Cowboys doing is because they like to do a lot of this, they'll be talking about Odell Beckham, Odell Beckham, Odell Beckham, and then Odell Beckham will get signed by somebody, and then that next day they'll sign somebody else. And that'll be the person they were actually talking to the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm Mr. Run the damn ball himself, man. And I 100% believe in running the ball, but I also believe that if you're gonna run the ball excessively as I believe that we need to be successful, then guess what you're gonna have to do? You're going to have to stop the run too, fellas. You're gonna have to, man.
Yeah. Let me
So it's
just
like,
say,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that actually you beat me to the punch. when you ever have the bye week, it is an evaluation of the whole team as a whole, strengths and weaknesses. The Achilles heel, his coach, you just said it. I was going to say the same, exact same thing. That stopping the run affects every phase of your football team. Every phase. If it's not good, it's going to kill the special teams. It's going to kill the offense. It's going to kill the defense all at the same time. That is the weakness of the Dallas Cowboys. So I agree. Addressing that need, that weakness is what's going to get you to the next level. Yeah, they got Hankins. That's good. But you got to get more than that in order to get it done. And that's what they should be addressing. Forget the pinball machine offense. We got enough of that. We done seen that already. We had the pinball machine offense where we scored 30 some points and we still couldn't stop the run. We ain't stopped the run in the last 7, 8 years. Good Lord. Come on now. Address
Facts.
the need, address the issue at hand. That's what's gonna get you to the next level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
but
all
let me.
it's all. Oh, let me go ahead. Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, I want us to also address the need that we have, but we're up here talking about addressing a need that we probably can't feel right now after the trade deadline. Because when you really think about it, any middle linebacker worth a damn is either already signed or on somebody's team right now. Because when you look at the pool, like a lot of these guys have not played since last year. You talk about guys like Danny Trevathan. You talk about guys like Malcolm Smith. I'm not saying that they're bad players, but it would be signing guys that cannot come in and immediately help us right off the bat. There'd be guys that they have to ramp up. The guys that ain't been in training camp, guys that are old, guys will have injuries. So like I really feel like they missed the ball to actually improve the team right now. So anybody they bring in at this point in time, I'm not really gonna be that excited about. The trade that we should have made with the Roquan Smith trade to bring him in, that he went for a second and a fifth. He's the exact kind of player we need, a legit middle linebacker who is an all pro level player that you would not have to pay a lot of money this year. You could have just came in and dropped him in the middle of this defense and you know, you have to worry about everything else in the offseason, but you would have got the production that you want from him going forward, especially into the playoffs. So, like right now at this point we talk about improving a team. The guy that really can be used to improve the team just ain't there right now. You know
Well, I
what I'm
mean,
saying? I think we missed out on that
I think.
opportunity. So I
I
don't even
mean,
want
this
to
is
talk
the
about
thing.
bringing nobody in.
To be honest with you, I think you can bring it because this is the thing. I think you could bring in a Malcolm Smith right now because as long as they don't have as long as they weren't injured, they're coming off of an injury. Like you got to think like this. Like I will never put it. Professional athletes are going to be in shape. They're going to do what they need to do. Like Jason Peters, like I can't believe that there was like I know he was 100% healthy when we signed him, but we all know he was not 100% healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like forget what they say. Like, yeah, he passed a physical, but he was not 100% healthy. Healthy. You know what I'm saying? So any player that even an Odell Beckham Jr. right now, Odell Beckham, in order because think about if he's not even if you medically sign him, he then has to go through the exact same thing that you just said with a middle linebacker. And think about this, that's a way more explosive position in a middle linebacker. And the cool thing about a middle linebacker is I'm not asking for his physical paralysis. I'm asking for his brain. Like I need a guy. Like I'm okay with like how you're not gonna be slower than LVE. Like it's not gonna get that bad. So
Yeah.
it's like and think about this. If your defense, even if you can get a guy that can just help move guys in a better direction, your defense with your run defense will get better. Because right now we have nobody that's playing at the line of scrimmage, and your defensive tackles are playing well.
Yeah,
I,
the physical tackles are playing real well, especially when the Hankins boys on there. Like I believe the small sample size was 11 carries for 3.9 yards when he was on for like 3.9 yards a carry when he was on the field. So like you can see the night and day difference. Of course, they got to get him acclimated and more involved. But like we talk about bringing in like a name. Like the name we should have brought in is already passed. So like, yeah, we could bring in a Malcolm Smith. We could bring in a Danny Trevathan who wasn't playing well last year. But like the move that would have put us over the top ain't there no more. So like, yeah, we can still add some guys, but like that window to just take you guys from
I'm
120 to 80 yards is out the window.
Yeah,
I'm well, I'm sorry.
I don't necessarily believe that. I don't necessarily believe that. I believe because your middle linebacker isn't going to be doing all the tackling anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a
He
Malcolm
shouldn't
Smith.
be.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
He
a
shouldn't
Malcolm
be.
Smith should be able to put, and he has showed over his career that he can keep them guys in, keep got the defensive line because he did a really good job of that in Seattle. And you got to think like this: I'm not trying. Listen, I've already accepted that we're going to give up the run because yes, we didn't make the move, but now we're trying to get better. If I can bring a guy that can get me from 130 to 110, I'm for that.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
there are guys,
I'm
there
not
are
saying he can't do that, but like I said like 80, like no, that's out the window. But
Yeah,
like you
but
said,
that's not even
we
real.
can drop
Yeah,
it
but
down.
that's not.
We
Yeah,
can
but that's
drop
what I'm
it
saying.
down.
That's not real. I mean, I don't. That's neither here or there. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't think there's nobody out there that can do that. But I do know believe that there. I do believe that there are guys that can flat out help this defense get better. And it's like if you're willing to take that chance on an offense, you have to be able to do that on a defense because think about this: any improvement on your defense is automatically going to be an improvement on your defense on your offense. Go ahead, Bishop. Would you had something?
I want to say this because you know I've been Cowboy fan and all of us been Cowboy fans a long time. When they have a history of addressing the obvious need. We saw that with Mari Cooper just a few years ago. They will do that. They tried to get Cooks. They figured that the wide receiver position was there. They just didn't want to pay that contract. Uh, I'm thinking West Coast Henny that I really believe they got enough. I'm serious. I'm thinking that they on defense wise, I believe we got to throw in the mix of Dan Quinn's voice in there saying, "I got what we need. I don't need this. I believe that I can do this. I believe that they really are banking on the rookies. I'm serious. I
Oh
believe
yeah,
they're bringing on Clark to come in and do what he do. And there's a name I don't know why. Obviously he's not playing well or whatever. But I believe that Cox is gonna get in this eventually. And I believe Dan Quinn is saying, "Look, yeah, we might need him, but it was right there. They didn't try to get
Yes.
Roquan. They didn't. They really
And
didn't go.
I'm gonna tell you something else that this just popped in my head right now too.
They believe it.
Like I'm gonna tell you what just popped in my head too. Everybody's saying we want more Odell. We want Odell because that's gonna get more targets. That's gonna get more explosive offense. You know what that also gonna do? That's
you
gonna
gonna get
require
quarterback
your offensive
outside.
line to do more too now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this is an offensive line that is not blocking, that is not dropping back 40 times right now. This
yeah.
offensive line only has one game where we had an excessive passing attempt. You know what game that was? Philadelphia. Other
Yeah,
than
and
that,
that,
this offensive line is looking good. You want to know why? Because at most they're only doing 24 passing attempts. When
yeah,
you
and
and think
that's
about
why
it,
you hear
we're
the
still
excitement
getting
level.
yeah, and we're still
That's why
getting
you,
penalties.
and that's why you hear the excitement level now of them talking about Mr. Smith coming back because they know if you insert him, as far as maybe not be good at dropping back no more, but he still can go forward and run blocking. So they got this great idea in their head that we're gonna keep doing this, and you put Smith in there, our line automatically becomes better. So that's what they really believe in the internal structure of what they already have. While with the fan base is saying, let's get this guy, let's get this. I believe we can't eliminate Dan Quinn saying, look, Mr. Clark is going to be big for me. I don't need nothing. He can do the job. He just needs to get some more reps. That's what he's saying. I don't even think they even entertaining the middle linebacker because remember what Dan Quinn saying, West Coast. He's saying LV is playing in great football. You see what I'm saying? And whether that's a confidence boost or whatever, he believes in what LV is doing right now. So,
Or I mean,
you
he
know,
believes it enough to. I mean, we got to remember Mike McCarthy also lied on national on the interview when
he
he said,
always lying.
you know what I'm
He
saying? They
lying.
always lie. So I mean, I ain't about to put
Oh man.
nothing
Yeah,
past the Dallas Cowboys as far as
yeah,
you mean. I ain't never heard a Dallas Cowboys player say somebody wasn't playing good while they was on the
yeah,
team.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know
That's it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, my only this is I mean, this is what I say about Demone. This is what I say about Demone Clark. I like Demone Clark and I like what I'm seeing, but you guys got to remember, man, he was not playing middle linebacker last week.
No, no, he was
He
not
was not playing middle linebacker. That was LVE
outside.
playing middle linebacker.
That's
And
right.
some advanced analytics. I pulled up. We was able to get some stats today on Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons he has like 347 snaps right now at defensive end, and he has 106 snaps right now at linebacker. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah.
So it's like, that's why I said it's like the Cowboys, you need a linebacker, like on the simple fact of like people keep saying, what if the wide receiver get hurt? Guess what? You got a gang of wide receivers. You just may not like them. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. If somebody in that linebacker room get hurt, bro, you do not have anybody.
No,
Like
you'll
you
be
are
putting your
instantly
safeties in the box.
like
You'll be putting your
you're gonna have
safeties
a
in the box.
safety starting all game at a
Right.
linebacker right now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like you need a linebacker off the fact of GP. And it's like this, man. If you like I keep telling y'all, if we can get a guy with a brain, if we can just get a guy with a brain, that within itself. Sean Lee was not Sean Lee probably the last 2 years of his career. But guess what? He was still a very dynamic linebacker. Anthony Hitchens is still out there. Give me his brain. Like that's all I'm really asking for is a brain right now. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you're asking for is someone who has a brain, someone who can add to this defense so that guess what? When we get to these games where we know these teams are gonna run the ball and they have good quarterbacks, we can actually stop them. Because I'm gonna tell y'all this right here. Everybody out there is talking about what we gonna do when we get in shootouts. I'm like the only person I feel on air right now that's saying, "Man, forget that. I'm trying to avoid getting in shootouts." Like why would
Oh
like
yeah.
I don't want to get in shootouts. You want to know why? Because anything can happen. I seen Tony Romo throw 5 touchdowns in a game in a shootout and we still lost. You know what I would have rathered? The defense stopped 2 of them touchdowns maybe. And my thing is this like I be when I listen to these other shows, and I ain't gonna name no names, but when I listen to these shows, I be really wondering like how do we do all this film on a defense? We rave about this defense, we rave about the things that this defense is doing, and then we say, listen, we need an OBJ because guess if we get down or if we get into a shootout, my question is this, man, I want to see a team come into Dallas or us go to a team and try to throw the ball 50 times on us. I promise. I ain't gonna swear for God, but I swear for God. Diggs is gonna have 2 interceptions. Parsons is gonna have like 5 interceptions. Like, bro, if you wanna get in a shootout, that's what this defense is built for. I
Coming after the
want
quarterback.
I'm just not gonna shoot out. You can shoot out,
Yeah.
but that is what this defense is built for. They are
Yeah.
built for that. I want teams to throw the ball 40 and 50 times. I
Yeah.
want them to.
Yeah. You got to know the strength of your team. They are designed to come after the quarterback and hit the quarterback as much as possible. Pin your ears back and go after 'em. That's exactly what we want. So I mean, I don't. You can't have that attitude for a shootout when you're running the ball like we are right now. You're
Facts.
slowing the game down. You're trying to protect the defense from not getting on the field as much. You want long extended drives. You're not trying to let your quarterback throw it 35 times a game. You want Pollard and Ezekiel to get it 30 times plus a game if you can finally get there. That's
Yeah.
what you want. That's automatically going to slow the game down. That's the way that this team this year is built to play. And if you go away from it, that's why we keep begging Kellen Moore that hopefully he don't get a pill and a dose of amnesia and forget that you're supposed to run the ball instead of passing the ball, which he has done so far. That's the way we're going to win this year. Instead of trying to be a finesse football team, we're trying to become a bully. That's really what we're trying to do. Physical on both sides of the football. You cannot be finesse right now. That's like that. We tried that for years. It didn't work.
We tried that
You got to
last year.
become a bully. We tried it last year and got our bullet trying to play finesse. You can't do that. If you're going to win the Super Bowl, if you want to go deep in the playoffs, you're going to have to get in the dirt. It's just that simple. And this team is built for the dirt, at least as of right now. Hopefully, we keep the same playground, I mean, the plays that we do right now. That's the only thing we need to do.
Hey
Right.
Henny, what was our offense ranked last year?
Let me pull it up
Our
real
scoring
quick.
offense. If I'm not mistaken, we ended up the season with the number one scoring offense in football last year.
Yeah.
And guess what? You lost in the first round of the playoffs.
You got out physical in the first round of the playoffs.
Because you guys got to remember, the playoffs is not, the playoffs is a one game sudden death. So a team doesn't have, like, listen to me. When I go into play, you know what I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. As a coach, going into a playoff game, you know what my mentality is? To not let them score.
And
That's
you
the
were correct.
mentality when you go into the playoff games. Like, bro, I got a three playoff series. I got a three playoff series game starting on November 20th for this flag football. They got the best 18, the best 12 teams, 6U teams in Southern California. We all gonna play for a Super Bowl ring on November 20th. And you know my mindset is not get into a shootout, because guess what? If you're in a shootout, you know what that means? That means your defense is not doing their job.
They're not good.
That means exactly.
They're not good. If it's a
If you
shootout,
can,
that means you're getting scored on.
that means you're
I
getting
mean,
scored on.
come on now.
When I'm asking you guys, when have you guys seen this defense give up touchdowns consistently? Like, our mindset needs to be exactly what Bishop said. It needs to be
Bully.
bully football. We don't listen to me. I don't give a damn if my offense only scores 24 points, because you're only going to score 12. That's the mindset you need to go in. Because think about this. When you go into a playoff game, it's the mindset really isn't to go in and score 50 points. The mindset is to stop them from scoring,
Yeah.
because you only
That's
got to
it.
win by a point. Go
That's
up,
it.
Penny. Go ahead.
Nah, but like you were correct. We were the number one scoring offense in 2021. We averaged 30.4 points a game. And then we went into the playoff game and got shut out. We only scored 17 points that game. So, like if we controlled the clock better, run the ball, we would have a different outcome. Especially if we were able to stop the run. So they pretty much brings everything back around full circle. Because the winning formula so far this year has been running the ball and trying to stop the run. Now we've been gassed in the run game, but we've had so such big of a lead, like it didn't really matter. So as long as we're effective on offense and are able to do what we need to do, like we don't have to throw the ball 40 times or anything like that. And like here, I did a whole breakdown of it. You remember I did that whole statistical breakdown of win percentage based on pass attempts, and it goes like 40 and higher. Everybody's stuff is horrible. 30 is a little bit better. In between 20 and 29 is much better. So
But Henny, let me throw this in. We lost, but when you lose, you got to see why you lost. I mean, you got to really dissect this thing, and that's the part that I'm talking about. The mentality has to change. San Francisco came in and did what they do.
Run
They
the ball.
ran the ball on us, and they out physical us. They beat us. Kellen Moore, on the other hand, when he was on offense, lined up in a three wide receiver set, going against a bully type defense. You can't play finesse
Nope.
going against a bully. You got to stand up and hit a bully in their mouth and make them know we here. You can't do that lining up in shotgun. You can't do that trying to run trick plays, bubble screens, and that. This team is a physical team. That's the mentality. Because we're at, to be honest with you guys, we're at the same record that we were in last year. We got the
six and
same
two.
record. When we were 6-2 last year, we did it by running the football. Then when we came back, we changed the whole mentality and got pass happy. That's what I'm looking for. Are you gonna stay physical and get even more physical as the next few weeks go by? When we get to Minnesota, that's the when we play Green Bay and get to Minnesota. I don't care nothing about Dalvin Cook, T.J. Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson, Alan Thielen. Run the football, smack them in the mouth, make the game slow down, make Kirk Cousins make the mistake. That's what I'm saying. Don't get there's no time for a shootout. Hit these folks in the mouth. That's what you built for. That's how you built the team. You built this team. Go ahead and make your identity known. Our identity right now is known. Defense, run the ball. Don't change it. Keep it
Hey,
going.
and think about this. When Dak Prescott was coming back, what was the number one thing that everybody in the nation was saying? Oh my God, I hope we don't change the offense. I hope we
Yeah.
don't change the offense. Now Dak is back, and y'all want to do exactly what you guys are saying you didn't want to do.
Didn't
Right.
want to
That's why
do.
I said I'm gonna keep it real with you. 9 out of 10, most Cowboy fans don't really want to run the damn ball. The only reason why you want to run the damn ball is because you rock with West Coast, and because it's obvious that we do it, we win. In the midst of, listen to me, on Sunday, in the middle of the game, oh, it's run the damn ball. Hats is flowing and flying. But as soon as the game is off, them hats come off, and it's right back to, oh my God. As soon as you guys start seeing them scores, start seeing your fantasy football teams, and start seeing your thises and your dats, oh my God, Patrick Mahomes threw for 5 touchdowns. Yeah, and he won by 7. Oh my God, he's a better quarterback than Dak. Like, bruh, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing. Like, the mindset should always be, like, even in an NBA game, do you honestly think they're trying to score 150 points? No. They're trying to score enough points to win the game. And then when the point game out of hand, they even take the starters out. The mindset should not be to just go in here and excessively score over and over.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, I did a study last year. I don't know. It's still true. I'm pretty sure it's still true because the Rams didn't win the Super Bowl this year. But if you go look at the last 10 Super Bowl winners, or go look at the last 10 top scoring offenses in football, none of them have won the Super Bowl. None of them. And for the most part, the top scoring offenses in football typically don't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They don't. I think the last one that did it was the New Orleans Saints. You know what I'm saying? When they won their Super Bowl. So it's like this, like, and I'm gonna tell you this: when you get to the playoffs, there are more times in the playoffs in our generation that those situations happen in what? Bad, inclement weather. So I don't know who was in the comment talking about what you're going to do when you get to the playoffs and the run game don't work. Bro, what is you talking about? The run game does work. The run game has always worked. There has never really been a game with the Cowboys where the run game did not work. Because even if you're not getting massive gashes in the run game, you're still able to run the play action. I'm going to tell you this right here. The only time a person can say the run game does not work is when you are not able to use play action, when the Cowboys have always been able to do it, no matter what. We are, and that's just what the Cowboys, we got to accept who we are, man. Like, I'm going to tell you, I wish some Cowboy fans would literally watch our game and then just turn the TV off. Because we get so caught up in what everybody else is doing, man. Patrick Mahomes has to throw 5 touchdowns, bruh. He's not over there beating people by 15, 20 points.
Drive the point home even worse, West Coast. Patrick Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns, but if I'm not mistaken, didn't you throw the ball 59 times? Am
And
I
what was
right
the
about that?
score? And what was the
I mean,
score
what
in
was the
that game?
score? Yeah, I mean, like, if your quarterback is throwing 59 times a game, you ain't got no running game.
None.
I mean, you don't have it because your quarterback is not designed to throw 60 times in the game. That's just ridiculous, man. But
Oh,
hey,
he did though. He,
you
he
win.
threw it 68 times last game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What was
See
the
what I'm
score?
saying?
2017.
Come on, man.
That's ridiculous, man.
Come on, man. That's ridiculous. Come on,
That's
man.
ridiculous. So that's why I say, and it's this whole season right now, because this is what I've been telling the Cowboy Nation too, man. And this is just on a whole nother subject, but it's really not about, like, we're a mature team, right? So one of my coaches told me, like, the head coach of my program told me, said, West Coast, man, don't focus so much on going undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Focus more on winning a championship. And I was like, that was a nugget, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Meaning, hey, it's good to go undefeated, but listen, if you got to lose a game to learn something about yourself, so what? So you can get the ultimate prize and the ultimate goal. Listen, the Cowboys are a playoff team. Like, we are a Cowboy, we are a playoff team. So now we need to start looking at what has put us out in the playoffs over the years. And that is what? Stopping the run. That's just what it is.
Last
Like,
two
even,
playoff losses: 455 yards on the ground surrendered, 5 rushing touchdowns surrendered.
oh my God. Hey, start getting that article ready, man.
It's already put together. No, I
Because
already dropped it.
the Cowboys dissecting. Because, I mean, if you go look at Dak Prescott's 3 playoff losses, for the most part, Dak has played good.
He's put up big numbers.
I
Like
mean,
he's played good. I mean, you go toe to toe with Aaron Rodgers your rookie season.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, 300 yards passing, a higher QBR, higher passer rating than Aaron Rodgers. Scored 31 points. Lost because the defense surrendered 30. What they surrendered 34.
34.
Come on now.
Then you go
Come
to
on now.
LA. You go to LA.
They
LA, the
ran the
run
ball
defense
down
gives
our
up
throat.
264 yards.
278.
278, I'm sorry. 278 yards, damn near 300 rushing yards in a playoff game to lose on the final possession of the game.
Yep.
Come on, man. It's not hard to figure this thing out. I mean, good. I mean, if a team is running 278 yards West Coast, you played the game. I played the game. And I don't know if you played it or not, but you know the game. Listen to me. If a team runs for 278 yards, they have made up in their mind and said, "Listen, we are going to out physical you. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run right there, and
They
there's
know you
nothing that
can't
you could
stop me.
do about it." That
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing you could do. We're gonna run right here, and if a team is running college-like stats against your professional pro, some of them guys were Pro Bowlers. Let's just call it like it is. The game is not hard. Then this is the area which I never understood why we never really addressed. We addressed offense, we addressed offensive line, we addressed cornerback, but when it came to them two monsters in the middle, we never addressed it. Yeah, we got some guys, but they're small. They're finesse type players. Guys that can get in. We need some meat there that's gonna stop it. We never addressed it until recently when you got Big Hankins. I mean, you got him there. I give you credit for that. But recently, that's why they went and got him because they know what they got to do. They know what they have to do. It's about physical, bully type football. And the Cowboy fans that are on here, you got to stop tiptoeing around it. It's time to go ahead and be bullies. That's what this team is about. That's what it should be about. That's what Dan Quinn is trying to implement on his defense, this defensive mentality. Like when we show up, you know your offense is going to be in trouble. Just like Green Bay, they're in trouble because we showing up. It's just that question. That same mentality need to go to Minnesota. I don't care if they got 5 Pro Bowlers on offense. When we show up, what you were doing on offense, all this gritty, all that kind of stuff, that comes to an end on when we play y'all. But it's just that simple, man. It's time to stop straddling the fence. Oh, we don't know. No, we're coming in there. We're going to be bullies like we supposed to be. And that's what we're going to do. And ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm sick of trying
I
to.
have a witness here, and
Man, I'm
I
sick of it.
really don't
Nope.
know what you're going through this morning.
I'm getting my
I had
organ here.
I
I'm getting
had
my
to give you
organ.
I had to give you one, man. Matter of fact, let me give you one more.
I'm so glad that I serve a God who has already fought my battle.
Yeah.
Do I have a witness here?
Hey
I'm
man, because
serious,
listen
man.
to me. Like I feel like sometimes the Cowboys, like Cowboy fans, like we be so confident in some areas, but then we be so non-confident in other areas, man. Like your defense has given you the right to be confident, to the ability to say, like, for all these folks that be like, oh, we're gonna get in shootouts, name me an offense that's going to score 21, 20, that's gonna score 4 touchdowns. That's gonna put 4 touchdowns
Not gonna happen.
on this
Not gonna
defense,
happen.
bruh. And y'all say Buffalo. Last time I heard, Buffalo don't even know if they're gonna have a quarterback. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It get crazy around here quick. We got an update on that. None of it's not saying it's none of our business, but you know what I'm saying? Buffalo, we got
He does have a sprained UL. He's going to try to play through it. I don't
Tom.
know
What do
how.
we what did I
I don't
say?
know
That's
how.
what I said.
I don't know how well he's going to play with an injury like that, but we'll see.
Tommy John's sound like he playing baseball on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
My thing is you know what I'm saying? I'm all about building, I'm all about improving because that's supposed to be the goal is to improve the team. So if Odell Beckham or anything that gets on this team is all about improving the team, I'm all for it, man. Let's talk about these Green Bay Packers for a little bit, man. And let's talk about I think the number one thing that people have been saying is, is this a trap game? And the fact that and I'm gonna tell you this, it is a cold day in HELL hockey sticks when they say the Green Bay Packers. It is what world is this that we live in where the Green Bay Packers are considered a trap game? Like that's crazy to me, right? That because a trap game typically means that you guys feel that the expectation is that the Cowboys should win the game. That's what you guys are saying. That's the expectation that the Cowboys win that game. What are your thoughts, Henny, on when you hear people say, "Is this a trap game?" or "Do you think this is a trap game?" Let me know.
We're gonna beat the brakes off the Packers, man. Because
There we go.
you look up and down, man. They're injured. They're not very good when they are healthy. They're limited on offense. They're scoring 17.1 points per game. They're the 28th ranked run defense in football. So they can't score and they can't stop the run. We're gonna beat the brakes off them.
Wait,
We're gonna
say that one more time about the run.
They cannot score points and they cannot stop the run. We're going to run the ball 30, 35 times like we always do. We're going to have close to 200 yards rushing, if not over. We'll win by like 14 points. Like
Mm.
people are shook because of the name. If
There
we
you go.
if we were playing the Redskins or the Washington, whatever their name is, and they had these same numbers, we would be like 17 point favorites on the road or some shit like that.
So you saying that more? Well, go ahead, finish what you're saying.
No, it's just like it's the Packers, so it's got the mythos. It's Aaron Rodgers on the frozen tundra, so they always going to have this mysticism about him, especially about because how things sometimes go when he plays the Cowboys. So we have great games against Aaron Rodgers, and then he somehow pulls it off. He does not have the weapons to do that. He does not have the run defense to do that. So like if we get a lead, we can literally just hand the ball off most of the rest of the game, and we're still probably going to get a ton of yardage because I think they're averaging close to the 5 yards of carry surrender. They're not very good at stopping the run.
And their number one pass rusher. We want to talk about that. Their number one pass rusher is probably done for the season.
Towards
He
ACL,
is done.
he threw it. He threw it
He's
towards
done.
ACL. Then one of their starting cornerbacks
Let
is
them let
going to
them know
be
the name just in case they don't know. Let them know the name.
Rashawn Gary,
Rashawn Gary.
the guy that they kept and let was it
Zadarian Smith.
yeah let Zary Smith walk for him. So like he's gone, and then Eric Stokes, their secondary corner. He plays corner on the opposite side of Zaire Alexander. He's gone. Aaron Jones he's going to play, but he's going to be limited. He just had an ankle sprain. So like, who do they got?
Mm.
You can't be worried about a bad team playing their second string players.
I
If the
mean,
Cowboys who they supposed to be, they're gonna go in here, beat them up, win by 10 to 14 points. It's not even gonna be that close.
I feel like this is one of those games where, like, I think after last week, Aaron Rodgers throwing those three interceptions, especially in the red zone. And one thing I will say about, not trying to give them any, love or anything, but one thing I did notice is they didn't have a problem getting down the field. They just had a problem scoring. You know what I'm saying? So,
It's Detroit.
Aaron Rodgers was still doing Aaron Rodgers thing, getting them down to the getting down. But it's like once you get into that red zone, man, you could clearly see the inexperience of the wide receivers, especially when you're a team that wants to throw the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying? They're a team that wants to throw a ball a lot, and you're playing in the red zone. Like the Reds, it's actually harder to score in the red zone than it is to score outside of the red zone. That's why they keep red zone stats and they don't keep outside of the red zone stats. Why? Because everybody can recognize that once it gets into the red zone, the field is shorter. The defensive doesn't have to play like when you're in the red zone. You don't have to play 15 yards off the field. Why? You just got to play at the line at the red zone because you don't got to defend the back of the end zone. You just got to stop them from getting in at any point. So it's
Right.
like it gets tighter in there. So it's like that's where the inexperience showed with the Green Bay Packers. So my mindset, like I'm always trying to think about a guy that wants to correct problems as they happen. So if I'm the Green Bay Packers and I'm trying to correct my problems, especially looking at this film from last week, I'm going to use Aaron Rodgers to get me into the red zone, and then you're about to get a heavy ass dose of AJ Dillon in that red zone. Like the Cowboys have to be ready to, they need to be ready to, when if they get into the red zone, I'm not expecting them to pass the ball. I'm expecting for them to put that ball in a running back and bulldoze in the front. And that's what, unfortunately, that's what the analytics actually support that on the Dallas Cowboys. So it's like it's almost like that's if the Green Bay Packers don't do that, then they'll just be doing stuff Kellen Moore used to do. We ain't gonna say he do it no more, but they're gonna be doing stuff that they used to do. But Bishop, you look like you had something to say. Go ahead, let me hear something.
I'm just answering your original question, the same question. You know, sooner or later we got to call a spade, man. It is what it is. This team that we're
It
playing
is
Sunday
what
is
it
not good.
is.
They're not good.
They're not. This is not the Green Bay Packers of 3 or 4 years ago. It's just not.
Just not the
Aaron
Green Bay
Rodgers.
Packers from last year. Which
It's not.
last year?
Exactly. Devontae Adams is not there. Okay. So the
Mm.
double team, we're gonna see a whole lot of man defense this week.
Hey
Who
Bishop,
are
can
we
you speak on
double teaming?
this too? Because like there's a lot of people that said that Dak Prescott, you know, they give him a lot of hate because they say Dak Prescott, he's not the same without the weapons. What is your thoughts on? Because I almost feel like it's good for the NFL to see what Aaron Rodgers is going through without a number one receiver, because every number one receiver should get at least $1 million more. Now seeing what Aaron Rodgers can't even do it, bruh.
Hey, can I add something
Well,
in before you answer, Bishop? This is it's gonna take 2 seconds. It's just gonna take 2 seconds.
Shoot it.
Cause dog, they on look. They how many points did they score last week? 9. They scored 9
9.
points.
The average is
nah.
17, so
Detroit is allowing 29 points a game. They are the worst scoring defense in football. They're one of the worst passing defenses in football. They're one of the worst run defenses in football, and they manage 9 points. We're not
Uh,
Detroit. But
I
we're
mean, he
gonna,
threw an interception to a damn tight defensive end, bro.
yeah,
That's how bad it got.
it's gonna get worse because they don't have the
so
personnel we have.
okay, and based off what you two guys just said, listen, all respect to Aaron Rodgers. Look, you can't deny what he is. He's a walking Hall of Famer. I give him credit. He's a multiple-time Pro Bowler. He's gonna be regarded as one of the best to ever do it. But ladies and gentlemen, he's not playing like that this year. He's not. He is not one of the better quarterbacks in the league this year.
And we're not playing his whole career. We're
We're
playing Aaron
not
Rodgers
playing
right now.
exactly. We're not. The Green Bay Packers are not the Packers of last year. Let's just stop it. This is a 3-6 ball club. That's what they are. That's what their record is. The reason why they're 3-6 is because they're not that good on both sides of the football. You got to call it like it is. You got to stop looking like I heard people saying today. He has our number. He has our number. Well, he ain't got nobody number this year. Nobody. Y'all understand me? This is not the Aaron Rodgers that we used to.
He can manage.
This
He,
is
he can't beat nobody else, but you gonna manage. You
Look.
gonna manage one of you. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna give him my best
Yo,
one.
Henry just said it. The Detroit Lions are giving up all kind of points. They only scored 9. And I'm not saying, and I understand any given Sunday. I understand any time. I mean, I get all that. But this team, this Packers team, should not beat the Dallas Cowboys. It shouldn't even be, it really shouldn't even be a bother. That the only thing that they can do, and I've said this before, if they switch their philosophy and stop trying to make Aaron Rodgers the MVP and give the ball to Jones and Dillon, then we might have a little different thing to talk about here. And that's how they go. That's the only way they can stay in the game. But they're not going to do that because they got to put the ball in his hand. Now, to answer what you just said, West Coast, isn't it amazing how the narrative changed when in the goalpost move for Dak Prescott? He don't have weapons, but you expect him to be the hero. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have anybody. You blaming everybody else except Aaron Rodgers. But when Dak didn't have anybody, you blame Dak. You said he shouldn't be a $40 million quarterback. You said he can't get the job done. You saying he can't do this and can't do that. Now all of a sudden, Tom Brady loses everybody. Tom Brady ain't got a winning record either this year. Hello. He ain't got nobody. Gronk is gone. Mike Evans looked like a shell of himself. Everybody's gone. I thought that, everybody used to say Tom Brady could take anybody off the street and make them look better. Well, guess what? All right. What happened? What happened? What happened?
Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie.
Yeah, they used to say you go get a wide receivers off the street and play with Tom Brady. He'll make them Pro Bowlers. That's what I used to hear for 20 years. Now all of a sudden, because he ain't got no line and he ain't got nothing, now everybody saying he played a little bit too long. No, he just don't have an offensive line. And he can't block nobody. So he don't look like Superman now. Yeah, he looked good last week. Yeah, he came through, but they ain't won but 4 games this year. It's amazing how the goalposts change for Dak Prescott. And then the same situations happen for everybody else. And then they move the goalposts and blame it everywhere else. You blame it on the play calling. You blame it on the head coach. You blame it on the management, time management decisions. But you won't point the finger at Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers right now. You'll blame it on the wide receivers, the young wide receivers. He ain't got nobody. He ain't got nobody. No, he just not playing well. This is not the MVP Aaron Rodgers, and we need to treat him as such. I'm sick of these folks, man. I'm sorry if I'm insulting some of your Cowboy fans or your group, but y'all need to get off Dak Prescott because you've never seen a quarterback that went from the 4th round and steadily go up, 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 and it's steadily going up, 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 up. He earned every dollar, and we need to quit this. If he throw the tight ends, so be it. If he barely throw the wide receivers, so be it. When he was at Mississippi State, he did throw the tight ends. That's all he threw to. It worked, y'all. Y'all keep forgetting. We won 12 games last year. 12. 12. It's hard to win 10. But we won 12 last year. I know we lost in the first round. I know it didn't get us nowhere. I understand he got the contract, but he did put 12 wins up. Let's stop acting like Dak Prescott is at the lower tier, like y'all like to say. His game ain't built for Mahomes type numbers. His game is not built for Josh Allen type numbers. His game is like what you saw Lamar Jackson do last night. Lamar Jackson dominated the game, but only had 133 yards passing last night.
And nobody said a
And nobody
goddamn
said
word,
nothing.
bruh. Nobody.
Dak Prescott
Nobody.
could throw for 100. Dak Prescott could throw for 150 yards. Y'all will get up here, Cowboy fans, will get up here the very next day and criticize your quarterback for throwing for 150 yards because you want him to throw for 350, but you didn't say nothing about Lamar Jackson last night, didn't you?
No,
I'm through
and-
this.
I'm stating facts.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that also, man. That was one of the things I said too when we had Cooper Rush as our quarterback. I was like, Cooper Rush can have Cooper Rush games, but Dak can't have Cooper Rush games.
Yeah.
Dak can't have Cooper Rush games because the expectations on the fans, man. Henny, what's your thoughts, man?
Hold up, Henny. West Coast. That was beautiful. You praise Cooper Rush for throwing for 201 yards. Dak Prescott threw for 210 yards, and y'all said Dak ain't playing well. I'm done.
I'm so glad that I serve a God who has already fought my battle. Do I have a witness here?
Go ahead, Henny. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, we all know the goalpost moves for Prescott, man. Because, like, listen, Dak Prescott is the one gets criticized for winning games. Kyler Murray is out here losing games, making $46 million. Never threw for 4,000 yards in his career. Never thrown for 30 touchdowns in a season in his career. Has a losing record as a starter. And has a losing record right now this season. So, and like, he makes more money than Dak Prescott with no playoff wins on his career. At least Dak has one, and like he's not being talked about in the media like Dak Prescott would if he was having similar performances. And he has all kinds of weapons. He's playing with arguably one of the best receivers in football. He had DeAndre Hopkins. They went and invested picks to get him receivers. He has Zach Ertz at tight end.
And they just got Robbie. Their third receiver is Robbie Anderson, bro.
They got Robbie Anderson. They got Rondale Moore.
Like, we talking about number ones, bro. Their third receiver, bro.
Yeah, and he's losing games, playing horribly. But they don't talk about things like that. And then let's go even further. A guy like Justin Herbert, very good talent. He has a losing record as a starting quarterback. And same thing go with Joe Burrow. He went like they give him this credit for the Super Bowl run. He has a losing record as a starting quarterback in football.
Yeah, and they're gonna. I'm gonna tell you this right here. After this season is over, and he does have another losing record, y'all going to chill out on Joe Burrows. Like y'all going to chill out because y'all about to get this dude a ridiculous contract that he does not deserve. Like y'all need to chill out. Joe Burrows is like he's a normal quarterback, bro. He's a normal starting quarterback. Like there's nothing. There's like I've watched a lot of Joe Burrows games now. I don't know why how it's happened. Probably because I've been doing Bishop close years, but I've been betting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Got a little, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I tithe though. I tithe. My grandma said you gotta give 25%. I said, where in the Bible it say that? You know what I'm saying? But I be giving my 10. But yeah, man, like he is Joe Burrows is there is nothing very special about Joe Burrows, man. There is nothing really special about him, man. And Burrows is gonna get paid. Gerald Burrows is gonna get paid. All them dudes are gonna get paid. Because you don't know why? Because nobody wants to go find another one. That's why. But I'm gonna tell y'all something this that we have not talked about, and I want to talk about this before we get up out of here too. There's another aspect of our game that we're not even thinking about. And somebody put this in the comment box, and I put it up there so we can see it, so I can remind myself. But listen, Dak Prescott is running the ball more now too.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be 7 or 8 passes. Like I'm gonna give you an example. That pass that he threw to CeeDee Lamb, where he throws the interception, that's a situational interception. Dak doesn't throw that ball in a regular game. In a regular situation, second down, 5 minutes left in the half, he's not throwing that ball. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna take off and run. That was you that said that. I'm gonna put it up there. He said I said that. Give me Dak Prescott running 6 or 7 times versus him throwing the ball to somebody additionally 6 or 7 times. I'll take that every day of the week because if Dak is running the ball 6 to 7 times, bro, your defense is getting shredded, bro. And you can't blitz them because look who's best against the blitz.
Prescott.
Like, bro, like, think about that. You went from like a quarterback who was ranked 29th against the blitz and Cooper Rush to a guy. Yeah, it was 2 guys that was worse than him. 29th to a guy that's number 1. And he's gonna run the ball. So think about this. When you do blitz him, guess what that means? See ya. if you see ya. Now, no, he's not Justin Fields, but guess what? It's all good. Justin Fields can't throw like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take the yin and the yang. You know what I'm saying? There's only one Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's only one.
And look, it's not a foot race. He's not running. He's not running neck and neck with guys. He's running away. He's gonna have a head start when he takes off running. So they got to come and catch him. So he's fast enough to get yards. Like he had a 20-something yard run in the game just last week. So like 40 times you throw that out the window. He ran a 4.7. That's about as fast as your tight end. And you see Dalvin Schultz get 30, 40 yards down the field.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this right here too. Like I know people are saying, yeah, but with Dak gets hurt. Listen to me, man. You listen to me. If you scared of Dak Prescott getting hurt, you need to be scared of Michael Gallup getting hurt. Because Michael Gallup is in way more. He has a higher chance of getting hurt than Dak Prescott does. Dak Prescott standing behind 5 dudes that's supposed to protect him for his life. That's all getting paid. Michael Gallup's out there on an island by himself. Like y'all can't play this. We gonna hold your quarterback with soft hands, but then you can run Zeke into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he got hurt last time in the pocket, so it's not like it.
Yeah, like.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. You saw last week. Well, I'm sorry. You saw the last week in the Bear game. What Dak can do, and most importantly, where you do it at. The red zone is where he can be most effective in running the football. This is what he did in Mississippi State. This is what he did when they first brought him to the pros. When you get him inside that 10-yard line and you got Ezekiel Elliott running back there and you run a zone read, the defense must respect Ezekiel Elliott automatically. All you got to do is pull it out. It's going to be wide open. And Dak is not Justin Fields, but he can go give me 6 yards for a touchdown.
Guess what? Think about this, though. When Dak gets hit, he not going down like Justin Fields either, though.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
He's going to try to run over you. He's a big guy.
Boy. You know
so that brings an element of a total different element to the offense because we weren't doing that.
We
All
weren't
we got
doing
to
that
do is
last year. Yep.
we weren't doing. All you got to do is do it at the right time, at the right part of the field, and watch what happened. 3rd and 1, they went sneak. The man ran almost scored a touchdown. He's big. It's simple. You just got to know when to do it. The red zone is another whole element that Dak Prescott can really take over this game. He can play like Lamar Jackson, but just inside the red zone. It's just that simple, y'all. It's not hard. This is
Right.
easy. You got
And
to know how to cook.
the key ingredient, what you said, is the defense has to respect it because think about this. In most offense, traditional offense, there's only two things you can do. You can pass the ball or you can run the ball. When you have a quarterback who's athletic, you get a third element. What is that? Running the ball with your quarterback. And that's an element we missed last year.
Yeah.
And think about this. And you were number one offense in football.
Without that running.
Without Dak running.
Well, but you got to know how to cook. You can do the legit sweet mess in the red zone. Long as you got Turpin, you got to run. You got to run C Turpin. You got to respect that. If you don't respect it, he gonna score. If you give it to him. If Ezekiel is back there, you got to even if Pollard, you got to respect him going right or left, and you can't cover all three. So when you give it and fake it, that how you think Dak scored so easily on that zone run against Chicago? It was wide open because the defense had to respect it. This is where he can score. He may not throw, all y'all Dak haters, he may not throw for three touchdowns, but you get him inside that red zone, he probably can run for 3 touchdowns.
And I'm gonna tell you something too. If you go look at when they actually have the only time Dak gets hurt on run plays, or not even hurt, the only time he gets hit on run plays is when they're not designed runs. That means the play is breaking down, something else is happening. Somebody won on their pressure, somebody didn't get open, and now he has to get loose. But on design runs, Dak is walking into the end zone. Like he's walking into the end zone.
He walked in Chicago because the defense had to respect. It's not hard.
Was a design run. That was a design play to him for them to run the ball.
Yes, not hard to figure out at all. So he can become that. This is what his strength was coming out of Mississippi State. That's the problem I got with Kellen Moore. I know we're about to go, but good Lord, use the players' strengths instead of trying to make them something else. Tony Pollard was used as a jigsaw piece, just lining up everywhere, all around the field. That's what he does best. Dak Prescott was a running option quarterback coming out, using them. Quit trying to make him John Elway. He ain't John Elway. He's a running quarterback that love to throw the tight ends. He's not, he can throw outside, but he's a seam type quarterback, quick slant quarterback. Use his strengths. That's all I'm saying. I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's funny too because after that win last night, you saw a lot of hashtags pay Lamar, and it's crazy because that's a fan base that only values just winning, man, just winning. Because even after that, Lamar Jackson's like, hell yeah, pay me. You know what I'm saying?
With 133 yards, West Coast.
Yes. Hey, but you know what? It's like when you get a guy and you put him as your starting quarterback, you kind of have to understand that you're going to be playing to his strength. So that shouldn't even be the expectation. Like 300 yards from Lamar Jackson, that shouldn't even be the expectation. You know what I'm saying?
No. Should be on 100, 200 some odd yards and maybe about 60 to 80 yards rushing every game because that's his strength. You didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say that about, you tried to make Michael Vick into John Elway, but you knew he was special. You let him run around. Let's stop moving the goalposts for Dak Prescott. He's not 500 yards, man. But y'all gonna do it anyway, so it don't make no difference. Dak can do it. He can light you up to 300. He can. We've seen it. And then again, he can also run the football. He can get you with just 200 yards. Everything got to be working. This team is loaded with what we have right now because we're cooking the right meal, and we're less talented than we were last year. But in actuality, and some may argue this, we are a better football team this year than we were last year.
I agree.
I'm going with that.
Hey, Henny, man, let them know your next album that you got. Not album. I keep calling them album. Your next article that you're gonna be dropping, man, and where they can find it at.
Man, I ain't got the next one dropping yet, but they can find me at Henny the Moore on Facebook and HTM Sports on all other platforms. But just tap in. I got something hot coming.
Well, shoot, man. Hey, and then Bishop, let them know when you're going live again, sir.
Going live on this Saturday at 3 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Central. If you're following me or if you don't know how to follow me, go to find the Big Time Show on Facebook or go to YouTube. The Big Time Show there as well. Follow me at Big Time Lou, at Big Time Lou, Lou, on Twitter. One of those three. I'll be live there and among other places as well. But just those three, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, you can definitely find me there. Y'all come on, hang with me if you can. Who knows? You might even see West Coast there this Saturday. Who knows? We might
Yes, sir.
crank it in. All right. Henry,
Well,
you
hey, man.
invited too. Ain't no doubt about it.
Well, hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight, man. Appreciate everybody for hitting that share button, man. We had a good audience tonight, over 120, 130 people watching tonight, man. So that was love. Appreciate you guys. And you guys already know what it is. I'll see y'all in the morning. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.